Hello, this is Kevin, and where am I today? Well, I am in Milan, and hiding behind me, got Steve and Cynthia, and we have come to Milan Church, St Luke's of Milan and Rake, and there is the notice board just there. And we have come here today. Steve and I came here a few months ago, and we couldn't do any filming because there was work going on the church, and we bumped into a lady here, a lady called Isabella, who very kindly has given us some fantastic information, which the three of us are going to bring to you today, and hopefully we can get a nice video out of this. But yeah, Isabella was fantastic with the information she gave us, and as we go along we'll be bringing that information to you. Behind the church is the Tuxlith Chapel, and we're going to be having a look at that as well. Again, beautiful old chapel. Been here before, the three of us have been here at separate occasions, so let's have a look and see what we can find. Well, the interesting things about this church in particular are these graves, and these graves are covered in Sphagnum Moss, and evidently it's quite unusual for Sphagnum Moss to cover these graves in particular, but just look at the way that it's spread all over top of the graves, and it completely covers them. It's like a sponge. When you put your hand on it, you press down, it's just, hopefully the camera can pick that up, it's just so soft. But it's all these graves along this one side of this churchyard, and it's many of the graves on the north side of the church, and those near the chapel are interesting, as they have acquired their pronounced shapes as a result of the Sphagnum Moss growing in this area. The moss is unusual around here, but the location seems to provide the perfect growing conditions for this variety. The graves are not that old, mostly 20th century in this area. But as you can see, it's every grave along this side, right the way along. And you can see here, you've got the surrounds here, all the way round, but then you've got the moss covering it. But just here in front of me, we've got this bank, and this bank here, just in front, which goes from the foot of that tree, and it goes all the way along here. This is all Sphagnum Moss as well. And when we were talking to Isabella earlier this year, she was saying that there are colonies of bees all living in this moss. I can't remember which bees it was she said was here, but again, this is like a sponge when you put your hand on it. Let me just show you again. It's very springy. So it's an amazing thing to see. But it's just layer upon layer, years of growth. As I said just now about the grave, look, there's one here with a corner to the plinths, but again covered in moss. It's quite incredible. So let's just have a wander up here. And since the last time we came along, they've been putting up lots of bird boxes. See one there, but you can see probably where the jays have been trying to get into the nest for the little babies. So we're just wandering up the south side of Milan Church at the moment, but there are a few notable people buried in the graveyard. Sir Thomas Sutherland, founder of the HSBC Bank, Frederick Parker, founder of Chelsea Football Club. The Bosanquet family, who were related to Bernard James Bosanquet, the cricketer, who invented the bowling action called a googly. So this is the outside of the main church. And you can see it's all stonework, and we've got the buttresses on the corners and the sides. And it's under a tiled roof. Let me just back away a little bit. And we've got the square tower there and the porch to the church. I've got a little bit of more information for you. St Luke's is known as the church in the woods and is between Rake and Liphook. It is a Grade 2 listed building and was constructed in 1878 of a Victorian Gothic style. It has a peal of 6 bells, and it never had the clock installed, probably because of the cost. So if I go round to the back of the church, you just see, I'm actually too close here, let me back away, and you can see the way that they're talking about a Gothic looking church. Let me just come round here, Steve and Cynthia around here. I've got to be careful of these graves where I'm walking. Just try and back away so I can get the church in. And it's got some striking stained glass memorial windows were added in the late 1890s, including the Good Samaritan window in memory of George Street, and 2 striking windows by Christopher Whall. But just here, if I wander around back round this bank of Sphagnum Moss, I'll show you where the north-facing clock face would have been if they could have afforded to have had it put in. So that's where the clock face should have been. So this is, Cynthia and Steve have found the tomb for Sir Thomas Sutherland, the founder of HSBC. There's a huge amount of writing on the side there, but I'm not going to try and read all that to you. So that's one of the notable gravestones. So let's have a wander around. Steve and Cynthia were saying that the graves here are so close together. If you look at these two, you know, you've got a tiny, so about 8-inch gap between them. But we're hoping to get inside the church in a minute. Interesting little sort of an arch here to this door at the rear, or on the north side of the church. Going up there, it's got stone capping, it's got a bit of a stone arch to curve to it. All the guttering and that has been painted. But you've got this strange looking red stone, and it seems to be very little wear to it. So there's got to be a reason for that stone being used, but you can't see any deterioration in the stonework at all, really, which is quite amazing. Well, we're inside the church now, and just in front of me is the font. And the font was actually found in the undergrowth, having been discarded from the Tuxlith Chapel, and dates from the 1600s. And it's quite an unusual font, but it's, you know, you can see it's made of stone at the top, but it's on these 3 little pillars and on a plinth at the bottom. That's quite a charming little thing here. But just on this big pair of doors here, these doors were made in memory of Major John Barr, 1956 to 1992, of the Queen's Regiment, who lost his life while on duty in Northern Ireland. But let me just turn towards we've got the north aisle here. And we've got in honour of memory of the men that lost their lives in 1939 to 1945. And here, 1914-18 war. And you've got these, what is it, four large arches here on either side. So let me just have a wander down through the centre here. And I'm going to take a look at the wood in the roofs again, and it's a boarded ceiling, as you can see, with these arched supports all the way through. But in the main roof above the altar, very cobwebby up there, but a huge amount of timbers up there. But just here we've got the pulpit, and this is a really, really striking pulpit. I've never seen anything like it. And the pulpit is made of very attractive Sumerian marble. Look at this, it's just stunning. Look at the detail in the work here. Isn't that amazing? Just incredible. Let me just have a look. That's from the Reverend, but I'm just going to pop up here just to have a look at the inside of the pulpit. Just look at this. Look at the marble work on the top. Isn't that beautiful? You can see the stonework is in fantastic condition here. I am just going to wander up here. I'm not going to touch anything at all. Up towards the altar. And in the corner there we've got a little piscina. And we've got these fantastic stained glass windows all around here. Got two beautiful ones there, one there playing a harp. And one of these is the ones that I mentioned earlier on. That was a striking, added in the late 1890s. But there's another one here, either side in the south. On the south of the church. And there's some words at the bottom there. What saith my Lord unto his servant? And we've got this one here. And this one is 1882. But they're rather lovely. We've got oak leaves in the design, and some I don't know whether they're roses or not in there, possibly. But over on this side, on the north side of the church, we've got this one here. And the words along the bottom there. For as much as ye know that your labour is not in vain in the Lord. And again, the colours are just stunning, absolutely stunning. And another big pair of doors just here on the north side. On each of the columns, you've got these leaves of trees or plants. I know it's strange, but does anybody hear an owl? I thought I could hear an owl. We've got these, all the plaques around the walls are rather lovely. This one's in memory of Walter Myton Colvin, Knight of the Langley in this parish, who departed this life December 16th, 1908. Simplicity, self-denial, uprightness were the cornerstones of his life. His name was honoured, his passing deplored. So this is the first time we've actually managed to get inside this church on all the visits we've made here. And to be honest, I'm not disappointed at all. It's been rather lovely. As I said, the stained glass windows are fantastic, beautiful colours in them. And all the stonework and that is absolutely wonderful. And again, this is a big church, quite a big church in the middle of a woods, just off of the old A3 near Liphook. So, but from here, we're going to go on to the Tuxlith Chapel. Hello, this is Kevin. And as you can see, I'm actually inside Milan Church. And if you've liked the video, please follow, like, and subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Always helps with these sorts of things. So that'd be great. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the next video. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.